only credit purchase of goods has to be recorded. Cash purchase should not be recorded. It goes under cash book. And if any credit purchase of any other asset, it comes under journal proper. What is the format of your purchases book? Date, inward invoice number, name of the supplier, ledger folio and amount. Under analysis of payment, where do we write this cartage? Under the cartage column. So 25. So these columns are dash. Hello everyone, I am Harshita, lecturer, Department of Commerce, Vidhyaashram PU College, the Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. My dear students, today we shall continue with your model question paper of first PUC, that is model question paper 2023-24, and today we are in the session 2. So in our session 1, already we have discussed few of the concepts, that is few of the part of your question paper. So in today's session, we shall discuss about your section C or part C. So in your session 1, we have discussed about your section A as well as B, that is your 1 mark questions as well as 2 marks question. In today's session, we shall continue with your section C, that is 6 marks questions. So let us see what are the questions they have asked in your model question paper along with the solution. So we shall see what are the questions they have asked. So under section C, and what is the weightage of this particular section. So the total weightage of this particular section is 18 marks. Where out of 5 questions, you have to answer any 3, where you will be having an option here. So, your 6 marks question, 5 questions will be asked, where you have to answer any 3 questions which carry 6 marks. So, the total weightage of this particular section, that is section C, will be 18 marks. Now, let us see what are the questions they have asked. So, that is your 6th main, answer any 3 questions. Each question carries 6 marks. Now, your 22nd question is, use accounting equation to show the effect of the following transactions of Ravi traders. Now, this is a question relating to your accounting equation. So, it doesn't mean that, so they will ask only the problem on accounting equation. So, you might get a question on classification of items into assets, liabilities, capital, revenue or gain, expenses or losses. Out of those 2 questions, either accounting equation or classification, you might get a question for 6 marks. But in your model question paper, they have asked a question on accounting equation. Or you might get a question on classification also. So give importance for the questions on classification of assets, liabilities, capital, revenue or gain as well as expenses or losses. Now let us see problem what they have given on accounting equation. So your transactions, A is started business with cash rupees 1 lakh, B bought goods for cash rupees 20,000 and C rent received rupees 5,000. So you have to write the accounting equation and see the effect of each and every transaction where the total of assets should be equal to liability and capital. Okay, so let us go through the solution here. So this is how you will write the solution. So you'll write the heading accounting equation. So what is the accounting equation? Assets is equal to liabilities plus capital. So here it should be equal under every situation. Assets is equal to liabilities plus capital. Now coming to your transactions A. So let us see, started business with cash. So what are the account that affects under this particular transaction? One is cash. Other one is capital. So cash is what? Cash is an asset. Capital, it is capital. So your accounting equation is equal to assets is equal to liability plus capital. Okay, so this is how the effect will be. You have to show the effect in the form of accounting equation. So let us see here. So a new assets have come into the business, that is cash, 1 lakh rupees. So this you will not write here. So you have to leave some space here so that whatever effect under each and every situations or in each and every transaction, what are the effects that takes place, that you will write here. So cash is in the transaction A. So cash 1 lakh is equal to liability is 0 plus capital. Capital is how much? 1 lakh. So if you add both, it is how much? 1 lakh in the both sides. So 1 lakh. And here also it is 1 lakh. So where under first transaction, your total of assets is equal to liability plus capital. So, what are the two effects? Cash effects, that is an asset, and in the other side capital also increases. So, cash 1 lakh increases and on the other side capital increases, so that the equation is equal, assets is equal to liability plus capital. Now, coming to your second situation, bought goods for cash 20,000. Now, if you see the transaction, how much cash was there? 1 lakh. So, 1 lakh cash was there. Now, we are bringing or we have purchased goods by paying cash. So, what happens? One asset increases, goods comes in, cash goes out. So, cash decreases by 20,000, so it becomes 80,000. On the other hand, your goods or stock increases. So, a new asset have come into the business under second transaction, that is your 20,000. Cash decreases, so you will minus 20,000. Stock increases, stock is an asset, so plus 20,000. So, 80,000 plus 20,000, it is 1 lakh. But on the other side, no effect on liability. So, liability will be 0. Capital remains same. If you compare your earlier transaction, it was 1 lakh. Now also it did not affect. It remains same. It is 1 lakh only. So, 0 plus 1 lakh. So, it is 1 lakh. So, as per our accounting equation, the total of assets is 1 lakh, where total of liability and capital is 1 lakh under second transaction. Now, coming to your third one, rent received rupees 5,000. Now, so on one hand, cash increases, correct? On the other hand, capital also increases. Now, cash is an asset. Capital comes under liability plus capital on the other side. Now, let us see the effect. So, 80,000 was cash. If you see the earlier transaction, 80,000 was cash plus rent received. So, cash comes in. So, increases by 5,000. So, it will become 85,000. But there is no effect on stock. Stock remains 20,000 itself. No effect on liability. Liability remains same, 0. But on the other hand, when you receive rent, your capital also increases. Earlier capital was 1 lakh. Now 5,000 increases. So plus 5,000. So it becomes 1 lakh 5,000. Now if you add both the side, 85,000 plus 20,000, it will be 1 lakh 5,000. And on the other hand, 0 plus 1 lakh 5,000, it also be 1 lakh 5,000. So, hope you are clear about it. So, this is how you have to solve the problem on accounting equation. Now, coming to your 23rd question, record the following transactions in purchase journal. So, purchase journal means what? You have to prepare your purchaser's book. So, purchaser's book you have to prepare of city stationaries for the month of July 2023. So, there are certain transactions they have given. So, you will get 2 problems on your subsidiary books. So, you have to be careful for 6 marks. There are 2 problems which is asked from your subsidiary books. That is recording of transactions 2 itself. So, 2 6 marks question will be asked. So, in your model question paper, they have asked a question where we have to prepare a purchaser's book or purchaser's journal. Now, before that, what are the type of transactions you have to record in your purchaser's book? Only credit purchase of goods has to be recorded. Cash purchase should not be recorded. It goes under cash book. And if any credit purchase of any other asset, it comes under journal proper. But if any of the transactions in the question is not recorded, you have to prepare a necessary note for it. Now, go through this transaction, July 1st, 2023, bought from Ravi Traders. So, this is credit purchase of goods. So, you have to record in your purchaser's book. So, it has to be recorded in your purchaser's book. So, what they have purchased, 10 notebooks at rupees 25 each, 20 registers at 50 each, and they have given less trade discount at 5%. Next is July 5th, purchase from Gokul Stationaries. Again, it is a credit purchase of goods. So, you have to record in our purchaser's book. 20 color books at rupees 75 each, 100 packs of pen at rupees 40 each. Now coming to July 10th, purchase from Hema Book House for cash. Now remember this word, they have mentioned the word cash here. So it is a cash transaction. It is not recorded in your purchaser's book. Why? Because only credit purchase of goods should be recorded, not cash transactions. So it is not recorded, but still you have to write a note for it. Next, to July 15th, purchase 20 color pencil boxes from Ganga Stationeries. So, 120 per box. So, this has to be recorded in your purchases book since it is credit purchase of goods. Okay, so let us see the solution for it. Now, we'll write the heading City Stationeries and we are preparing what? Purchases book. So, what is the format of your purchases book? Date, inward invoice number, name of the supplier, ledger folio and amount. Now, let us see one by one the transaction that has to be recorded in your purchases book. So, July 1st, bought from Ravi Traders. So, you will write the date July 1st, 2023. Name of the supplier is, that is Ravindra Traders. Then, what did we purchase? 10 notebooks at rupees 25 each. So, 10 into 25, 250. Then, 20 registers at 50 each. Less trade discount at 5%. So, 20 into 50, that is 1000. Now, so you got 1250, but we have a trade discount on this 1000. So, 1000 into 5%. So, less 1000 into 5%, that is 500. So, that you get how much? 1250 minus 50, that is 1200. Now, coming to the next one, July 5th. So, who is the name of the supplier? Gokul Stationeries. So, since they have not given inward invoice number, so you can leave it blank here. So, Gokul Stationeries, what did we purchase? 20 books into 75 each. So, 20 into 75, that is 1500. Next, 100 packs of pen at rupees 40 each. So, 100 into 40, that is 4000. If you add these two, you will get 5500. Now, July 10th, it is not recorded in your purchases book. So, no need to record. Next, July 15th, purchase 20 color pencil boxes from Ganga Stationeries. So, name of the supplier is Ganga Stationeries. So, 20 into 120. So, 20 into 120. So, that how much you will get? That is 2400. Hope you are clear about it. When there is trade discount, you have to minus trade discount so that you will get the answer. So, and wherever you have to multiply with the respective quantity with the price. Okay. Now, you will get the total. If you add all these, you will get 9100. That is the total. Now, one of the transactions we have not recorded, that is July 10th. Why we have not recorded? Because it is a cash transaction. So, since we are not writing, you have to prepare a note for it because your note also carries marks. So, the transactions of July 10th will appear in cash book. So, we are going to write in cash book. So, we have not recorded in a purchases book. So, hope you are clear about this question on subsidiary books. So, they might ask a question on sales book also. Okay. So, one and the same, but your format will be different. Date, here it will be outward invoice number. Instead of name of the supplier, it will be name of the customer. Okay, ledger folio and amount. And all the calculations will be same. Wherever there is trade discount, you have to deduct the trade discount. So, hope you are clear about this problem. Now, moving on to the next problem. So, this is also a problem they have asked from recording of transactions 2. So, I have already told you from recording of transactions 2. So, you will get 2 questions. So, in this model question paper, they have asked a question on purchases book as well as petty cash book. Now, go through the problem here. Enter the following transactions in petty cash book under the Impress system. So, we are following Impress system under petty cash book. So, and balance it. So, they have given certain transactions here, date, particulars and amount. So, 1st Feb, received a check towards petty cash rupees 500. Second, paid cartage on goods 25, paid taxi fare 70, postage and telegram that is 30, stationery purchase 65, wages paid 50. So, they are asking us to prepare the petty cash book. Now, let us see the solution. So, you have to write the heading analytical petty cash book. So, based on the question, you will draw the columns for analysis of payment. So, your columns are amount received, date, particulars, voucher number, amount paid. Then under analysis of payment, it is recorded in terms of rupees. So, based on the question, you have to draw the columns. So, if you see here, leave the first transaction. Now, cartage, we want one column for cartage. Next, taxi fare. So, it can be written under conveyance. Okay. Next is postage and telegram. So, you want one column. Next, stationery. So, you can combine postage and stationery also. Or you can draw individually postage and telegram 1 column, stationery 1 column. And wages paid, it comes under miscellaneous expenses or other expenses. Now let us solve the problem here. So first, amount received. Okay, so first we shall write the date first. So what is the date? 1st Feb 2023. So 1/2/2023. Then in the particulars, so we have received a check. So you will write it as to bank account. So to bank account. So you will write this to bank account. Voucher number is not there. Now what is the amount received? That is, we have received 500 rupees. So you will write 500 here. So hope you are clear. These columns are dash. So this wages can be written under miscellaneous expenses also. Since we are having only one expenses, so we can write it as wages also, or other expenses can also be written there. Now hope you are clear. So whatever the amount received, you will write it as to bank account. Suppose if you receive in terms of cash, then you have to write to cash account. But here in this question, we have received in the form of check. So it is to bank account. How much amount we have received? 500 rupees. Now moving on to the next transaction, 2/2/2023. 2/2/2023. Paid cartage on goods. So how do you write? By cartage. By cartage. Now in the amount paid column, what is the amount paid? 25 rupees. So 25. Now under analysis of payment, where do we write this cartage? Under the cartage column. So 25. So these columns are dash. Okay, next one. Paid taxi fare. So 6/2/23 by taxi fare. By taxi fare. And the amount paid is how much? 70 rupees. So we'll write 70 here. Then under which column we have to write this taxi fare? Under travelling expenses, or it also can be written as conveyance. Conveyance. Okay, so 70 rupees. So here we will write 70. These columns are dash. Next, 8. Postage and telegram. So how do you write? 8/2/23 by postage and telegram. By postage and telegram. What is the amount paid? So amount paid is 30 rupees. So we'll write 30 here. So where does under analysis of payment comes postage and telegram? Here. Postage and telegram, and these columns are dash. So hope you are clear till here. But make sure that while writing amount received, it should be 2. Other than that, everything you have to write in terms of by. Okay. Next, coming to the next one, after 8th, 12th, stationery purchased. So 12/2/2023 by stationery. By stationery. So what is the amount paid? So amount paid is 65 rupees. So where do we write stationery? Here, under stationery. Next is after 12th, it is 15th, wages paid. So 15/2/23 by wages. By wages. So what is the amount paid? That is 50 rupees. So 50. So it comes under other expenses, or you can write it as wages, or you can write it as miscellaneous expenses also. Okay, so 50 rupees. Now hope you are clear about it. So we have written all the transactions. So we are done with it. Now what you have to do? You have to add all the amount. So add 25 plus 70 plus 30 plus 65 plus 50. So total it is 240. Now individual columns you have to add here. So individual columns. So in the first column cartage, it is 25. Next travelling expenses or conveyance, it is 70. Next is postage and telegram 30. Next stationery, it is 65. Next miscellaneous expenses, it is 250. So if you add 50, 65, 30, 70 and 25, you should get 240. Okay. Now, it means that the main cashier has given 500 rupees where the petty cashier have spent 240 rupees. Okay. So, 240. Now, what is the balancing figure? 500 minus 240. So, 500 rupees is being given by the main cashier. So, 500 minus 240. So, it is how much? 260. So, 260 is what? This is balance carried down. So, when do we carry down the balance? 28 to 23 by balance carried down, 260. Now it is 500 rupees both the sides. 500 rupees both the sides. Again, at the beginning of next month, 1/3/23. So 2 balance brought down. Now you have to write this 260 here. Again, 1/3/23, 2 cash account. So how much? 240. So hope you are clear about it. So this is how you have to solve a problem on petty cash book. Okay. So you will add all these. So if you see this problem, balance both the side is how much? That is balancing figure is 260. You have to bring down the balance and whatever the amount spent by the petty cashier, that is 240 rupees. So at the beginning of next month, main cashier has to give 240 rupees to the petty cashier. So this is how you will solve the problem. You can go through the problem once again. So you have to add all these so that you get 240. So 500 minus 240, 260 will be the balancing figure or balance carried down. So hope you are clear about this 24th problem. Now coming to the next one, 25th problem. They have asked a problem on trial balance. So that is from trial balance and rectification of errors chapter 6. So you might get a 6 marks question where trial balance will be asked or a problem on rectification of errors can also be asked. So go through the problem here. From the following particulars given below, prepare a trial balance as on 31st/3/2023. Very easy problem for 6 marks. So they have given you certain, that is 10 items, that's 10 particulars, accounts. So where you have to record them into either debit side or credit side. A small hint I'll give, what are the items to be debited? So debited, all the assets have to be debited, all the expenses and drawings. So this has to be debited. Coming to credit side, you have to credit all the liabilities, all the incomes and capital. So this you have to show in the format of your trial balance. Now purchases. So what it is? It is an expense. So what you have to do? Debit. Next sales. It is an income. So credit. Bank loan. It's a liability. So credit. Next machinery is an asset. Debit. Cash is an asset. Debit. Capital. Credit. Debtors is an asset. Debit. Creditors. It's a liability. Credit. Bills receivable is an asset, debit. Bills payable is liability, so credit. Okay. Now, let us see the answer here. Trial balance as on 31st/3/2023. As I told you, purchases you have to debit, sales you have to credit, bank loan is a liability, credit. Then machinery you have to debit because it's an asset, cash is an asset, debit, capital you have to credit. Then debtors is an asset, debit. Creditors is liability, so credit. Bills receivable is an asset, debit. Bills payable is a liability, credit. When you total both the side, your trial balance should be equal. So when you add all the debit side and credit side, your total is 2,75,000 and 2,75,000. Very easy problem for 6 marks. Now moving on to the next 6 marks question, that is 26th question. So they have asked a problem where we have to prepare the trading account and find out the gross profit. Okay, so from the following balances obtained from the records of Mr. Ravi, prepare the trading account for the year ending 31st March 2023. So they have given opening stock 2 lakh, purchases 20 lakh, sales 35 lakh, carriage inwards 10,000, closing stock. So, you know the format of your trading account. What do we record in your debit side? 2 opening stock. So, you will start with 2 opening stock. So, this has to be recorded in the debit side. Next, after that, 2 opening stock, 2 purchases. So, purchases in the debit side, Next, whether they have given returns, less returns, they have not given. Then, 2 direct expenses. So, what do we have direct expenses here? Carriage inward is direct expense. Now, coming to your credit side, we have sales. So, sales has to be recorded in the credit side. Buy sales, less returns. So, closing stock. So, your format will be buy sales, less returns, by closing stock. So, closing stock has to be recorded in the credit side. Then you will balance both the side. Balancing figure will be either gross profit or gross loss. Now, let us go to the solution here. Trading account for the year ended 31st/3/2023. So, what is the format? In the debit side, it has expenses or losses, amount, revenue or gain, amount in the credit side. Okay, so you will start with 2 opening stock. So, opening stock is how much? 2 lakh. Next, you will record purchases. 2 purchases, 20 lakh. Then, so you have direct expenses 10,000. So, 2 carriage inwards 10,000. Next, in the credit side, buy sales 35 lakh and buy closing stock 5 lakh. So, overall it is 40 lakh. 40 lakh minus this 20 lakh. So, it will be 20 lakh. 20 lakh minus 2 lakh, that is 18 lakh. 18 lakh minus 10,000. 17 lakh 90,000 is the balancing figure. So, whatever the balancing figure you will get under trading account. So, it is what? 2 gross profit carried down, and this will be the balancing figure. Okay, so hope you are clear about it. So, from this chapter, that is financial statements 1, so you will get 6 marks, 1 question where they might ask you trading account, profit or loss account, or even calculation of cost of goods sold. Okay, so that also might be asked, and even the balance sheet also can be asked for 6 marks. But in your model question paper, they have asked trading account and find out the gross profit for 6 marks. So, hope you are clear about it. So, there was 5 questions under section C, 1 question on accounting equation, or you might get a question on classification of items or classification of accounts into assets, liabilities, capital, revenue or gain, expenses or losses. And second questions will be on subsidiary book, where they might ask you purchases book, sales book, purchase return or sales return. Okay, next, a question again on subsidiary book, where they have asked you petty cash book. Next question was on trial balance, where they might ask a question on trial balance or rectification of errors for 6 marks. And the last question will be on your financial statement 1, where they might ask you to prepare trading account, profit and loss account, calculation of cost of goods sold or balance sheet for 6 marks. So, overall, out of 5 questions, you have to answer any 3 questions. So, the total weightage of this section will be 18. That is 6 into 3, 18 marks. So, hope you are clear about section C. So, in my next session, we shall discuss about part D. Okay. So, that is all your 12 marks question what they have asked in your model question paper, where 6 questions will be asked, out of which you are going to answer only 3 questions. Okay, so let us see what are the questions they have asked in your model question paper. So, my dear students, hope you have understood today's session. See you all in my next session with a new topic. Till then, take care. Thank you.